Hi, I'm Sage of SageBeHobs.com, the expert on badass and brilliant living, more professionally known as a leadership and empowerment coach for women who want to have a huge impact and influence with their work and make a difference in the world. So I'm so happy to have you here today. Today we're talking about a topic that comes up a lot, again, which is I know I have something bigger to offer the world, but I'm really scared to dive in. How do I know it's time? How do I know I'm ready? Help is basically the gist of it. So it can be really scary to pursue a dream. It can be unnerving. It can be downright terrifying. And the other side of that terror and that fear is it can also be super exciting and invigorating. And on a deeper level, they can really feel like a calling. So like a real need to share your work with the world, your vision with the world, your creativity with the world, your new idea with the world. One of the reasons TED Talks are probably so wildly popular is because the ones that get really popular are people who are really sharing an idea worth spreading, a real passion and excitement of theirs. So how do you know when it's your time, and how do you take steps in that direction? So I totally get this one on a personal level because I had a really stable and secure job that I actually liked pretty well, that had great hours and that allowed me to feel like I was making a contribution to the world. I'm a master's in counseling psychology, and I was a school counselor for a decade. And when I decided to resign from that line of work and start my own business, people thought I was really crazy. It was really like, you're going to leave your pension plan and your security to do what? Are you mad? And maybe I was a little bit, but here's the thing. There were a few factors that helped me make that decision, and I hope that they'll help you. So one thing is this. There's three that we'll talk about today. The first is regret, right? So most of you know I had cancer when I was 23 years old, and lost my dad also when he was quite young. And I've had some life experiences that have really led me to a notion of living my life with a sense of urgency. It's really my passion in the world to talk about that with people. Urgency doesn't mean panic. It doesn't mean racing. It just means like your life matters now, and that waiting for someday might be a luxury that we don't have. So there is, for me, a sense of questioning the regret. Like, if I stayed in the role that I was in, could I have been happy? Sure. But would I have regretted not pursuing something that I knew was my bigger passion, my bigger calling in life, which is to really empower all women to courageously and confidently share their purpose with the world? Yeah, I would have had regret about that. So I had to measure for myself, what was the degree of regret should I leave that dream on the table? So that's number one, to help you think through whether or not you're ready to make the transition into something else. The second thing is about decisions. I really find that people get so scared of making decisions, and I get it. There have been times in my life where I felt that way for sure. There still are. But what I often have realized is that decisions are flexible. We have choice. We're very blessed to live in a part of the world where we have more choice than other places. That provides us some opportunities that others don't have. And we sometimes feel, however, that our decisions are really locked and really fixed. And I always think that the only one that's really fixed is becoming a parent. So when I chose to become a mom, and I have 2 kids, that one is like, that's a forever thing. I forever will be a mom now, right? But aside from that, most decisions I make, I can change my mind. You can change your mind. So while it might feel like, and it did feel like for me, like I was going to leave the school counseling profession forever for this other entrepreneurial adventure, this other calling, this other dream, the truth of the matter is I could go back to it. I'm still going to have a master's in counseling psychology and counselor education. I still have a decade of experience in my former career. If I wanted to transition to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, or go back to the old thing, I could. So number 2 is just to remember there's more decision flexibility than we realize. And the third thing is, I call myself a pragmatic dreamer, so this is where that comes in. The third thing is, what are some actions you can take now to test out for yourself whether or not this move is what you're ready for and it will work for you? So what are some safer risks you can take? So you might not be in a position to just quit your day job and launch your dream business. And that's fine. If you need to start writing a blog on the side, start going through a training program in the evenings, start creating a model or a prototype of the design you want to eventually sell and getting a few trial customers, start a beta test for a program you're creating, start writing a couple chapters of the book without, you know, pulling back from everything else and going full hog to get an agent. Start with some actions that you can take that can kind of test the waters for yourself without you feeling like you've scared yourself so much or taken such a big risk that there is no turning back. I want there to be a way where you can explore safely, but with a sense of adventure for what your options may be. So how do you decide if it's time for you to make a change and share your vision or your work with the world in a more meaningful way? To recap, the first one is to think about regret, how much regret you'll have if you don't do it. The second one is to consider that decisions are more flexible than you might think and nothing has to be forever, except for parenthood. That was my caveat. And the third one is to ask yourself, what are some of the actions you can take now to sort of test the waters and see whether or not you like it, whether or not it's a fit for you, whether or not your idea will fly. What are some safe actions you can take to explore? So I hope that helps you start to consider how, you know, if you're ready for the next big leap in your life. I hope that helps you make that choice. And if you found this helpful, of course, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what other questions you have about this, what things came up for you, what actions you might be exploring, what your big dream is, anything. I'd love to hear it. And please share it with your friends if this is interesting to you. I'd love to get this work into the world more and have more conversations like this. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time.